Welcome back to the Wealth Leads channel, everybody. My name is Ben, and today we're talking about how to keep your emails out of the spam folder so you can increase deliverability and as a result, increase those sales numbers. Let's get started. For those of you that are new to the channel, we talk about sales hacks, tips, tricks, and best practices for beating your sales targets. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let's get back to the content. Email providers are closing those doors, locking those gates, and making it increasingly more challenging to get emails to land in a prospect's inbox. Lucky for you, there's a few simple things that you can do to make sure that your emails are landing not in the spam folder, but in your prospect's inbox so they can actually get back to you and learn about the service or the product that you're trying to sell them that can hopefully help them in their day-to-day. These are 6 key tips that I think are incredibly helpful for making sure, again, that you just stay out of that spam folder. So let's dive into number 1. My first recommendation is to set up a secondary domain for sending email. Now, what this is you may have a domain, for example, for Wealth Leads, it's wealthleads.co. So I have my email, ben@wealthleads.co. But for doing outreach, I use ben@getwealthleads.co. The reason I do that is to protect my main domain. We have team members that are using our domain. We don't want that domain to accidentally get flagged for spam for whatever reason. Then it impacts all of our email accounts across the company. That'd be really terrible. It'd also be really challenging for us to engage with new clients, work with our existing partners, so on and so forth. And so we want to be very, very cautious and use that secondary domain. We go to GoDaddy, simply add some more domains, and then we create new user accounts for sending out those emails. And so again, having a secondary domain can really give yourself a moat and give you that extra layer of protection. Tip number 2 is really simple. It's just have an email signature. I see so many people that outreach to me, do cold outreach, and they don't have an email signature. It's like, okay, clearly this is AI, or clearly this is some virtual assistant that's just doing a mass amount of emails trying to get a hold of me. That email signature really shows that you're authentic, it's a personal touch, and it makes people a lot less likely to put you right into the spam folder. Tip number 3 is to keep a close eye on your sending limits. A lot of outreach providers that allow you to automate your outreach sequences, they typically recommend, I think, around 50. You can also increase that above 50 if you have a response rate that's greater than 5%. So if you have an outreach campaign that's really performing well, you have a response rate that's higher than 5%, you can increase that limit. I typically like to err on the side of caution here. Just knowing that Google and Outlook and all those email providers, they're becoming increasingly more strict. I keep mine around 30 emails a day at this time. On top of just how many emails I send a day, I also limit how many emails I send in a given hour. Right now I have that set at 6 emails per hour. I also have a gap between my emails of 600 seconds between each email. The goal here is to make it seem like that you're not automating this, that there's not some computer that's sending all these email sequences to the inbox. You don't want to come off as having spammy behavior. You want to come off as being a real human. And so that's why I have those set up. So again, really manage those sending limits. Don't feel like you have to get a huge amount of volume in. If you're trying to be that person that wants to get 100, 200, 300 emails out in a given day, that means set up more secondary domains. Again, you do not want your main domain getting flagged or even your secondary domain. So I manage accounts right now for companies that have 6, sometimes 10 plus secondary domains that they're using for outreach. And so just keep that in mind. That's always an option. Tip number 4 is to add an opt-out link to your outreach emails. The goal here is that if someone doesn't want to receive your email, instead of them marking your email as spam or blocking you because they don't want to hear from you, giving them the option to just unsubscribe from the sequence is the way to go. So you can stay out of that spam folder and not get flagged. So at the bottom of every single email I send, I just have a little link that says, hey, if you want to stop hearing from me, just click here. And it just opts them out from the sequence and they don't have to hear from me anymore. That's been a lifesaver for just email reputation and staying out of the spam folder. Step number 5 is one of the more technical ones in what we call domain authentication. There's all these acronyms here like DKIM, DMARC, SPF. What do all these things mean? It's so confusing. These are all things that help authenticate your domain. Just make sure that you're a real company, a verified person, and that there's actually like a real human sending out these emails. And that's what the email providers like to see. With whatever email tool that you are using, whether that may be Apollo or SmartLead, whatever that is, I have a full review on SmartLead, for example. They will give you instructions on how to set up that domain authentication for that outreach platform. I won't bore you with the specifics of what SPF, DKIM, and DMARC are, but I will say they are important and it does help quite a bit with email deliverability. And I think that's only going to increase in the future. Tip number 6 is probably one of the biggest ones and hopefully one of the obvious is just don't be spammy. Quite often the reason people are going into the spam folder is because they're being spammy. When you're doing outreach, add a lot of value. Make sure that your emails are super authentic, personalize them as much as possible, and you'll stay out of the spam folder. And so just keep that in mind, that you can't beat just having good emails and being authentic and providing value to your prospects. So don't be spammy. Let's be a real authentic human, reaching out to these people with the hope that we can help them with our product or service. So those are my 6 tips for staying out of the spam folder so you can increase deliverability and as a result, increase your sales numbers. So get after it. If you have any questions, please reach out. We're happy to help you set this up and give you more tips and tricks on how to stay out of that spam folder. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was really helpful. We are producing content like this every single week, so please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. It really helps us out. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you soon.